Assalamualaikum guys, welcome back to the channel. Guys, last video was about colors. Okay, and colors we discussed the various type of colors. We have RGB, red, green, blue combination. Then we discussed RGBA with alpha channel addition, and then we discussed hexa colors as well. Then we discussed HSL, hue, saturation, and lightness color, and we discussed one more color that is called HSLA, which contains the alpha channel again. And I told you that alpha channel, the reason for adding alpha channel is that because alpha gives you the transparency, opacity. Okay, that how your color looks like. It's transparent, fully transparent, partial transparent. So these we do with the alpha. So guys, our today topic is related to the CSS backgrounds. Okay, we will discuss the CSS background colors, background images, and lot of stuff. So first of all, let me tell you that CSS background colors. Background color property we remember specifies the background of an element. Let's say I have this page which I have created. I want to give the background color for this one. So what I need to do, I told you in the last videos that we have different type of stylings, inline, internally, or externally. But the preferable method is that we use externally. So here I link this externally file. So I move to my external file. Now I need to give the background color. Okay. So what I need to do, as I need a background color, so define body. Okay, body. I want that the body color is background. The body color. I mean to say I'm giving you as a background. So background what? Background color. Okay, so I did not specify here. So background color. So what type of background color I want? Let's say I want light blue. Okay, I'm giving you light blue color as background color. Now we'll see in the browser that how it looks like. So we need to go in the browser. Let me refresh the page at all. Maybe I have not saved the file correctly. Let me save this also. Now I save the file. Let me back again and see will it work or not. Still not working. What's the reason? We need to check. Um, let me check here. CSS tutorials, background. Everything is working fine. Sometimes due to the caches issue, your cache is full. That's why sometimes the things will not apply. So you do not need to worry at all. I'm just changing the things. Okay, I need to go in my setting. Sorry, in settings. In settings, I remove my what is it called cache. Okay, sometimes cache fill. That's right. Now, once I clear the cache, I move back. Let me refresh. Now you see that's it's working. Okay, your background color is now light blue. Okay, sometimes this page is not refreshing. The reason is that your cache memory is full. That's why. So you need to refresh or clear your cache. Okay, in order to get this one. So this is how your background color. Same like with CSS, a color is most often specified a valid color name like red, a hex value like FF. I told you this one that if you type that red green, this hexa hex value are the combinations of two red, two green, and two brown. Okay, we have the color. So FF, if we give that all white, 00, nothing value, that's black. So you also give other background, sorry, images as well. Okay, you can give the images as well. So how you need to add images in your CSS? Simple that instead of this property, and instead of using this one background color, you use the background image. Yeah, background image, and here in this one here you need to give the URL for that. Okay, background image. Let's say I am again typing this one background image with URL. Okay, so background image I want here one. So background image, give the what is it called, give the name of the background image if you have in desktop, otherwise just type URL. In URL, you need to give the URL address and it automatically applies here. Let me show in my browser that how it works. Now I just need what I need. I need to find images. So once I define, I need this image in background, this one. So what I need to do, I just now see two things we have. You always copy the image address, not copy image, not copy link address. You need to copy the image address. So once I copied, I need to go back in my browser, and here you type this URL. So once you paste this URL in your code, now it's the time to refresh your page and refresh your browser, and we'll see this result. Now as you see, now this background image applies here. Okay, as you see, these things same like if you have in your desktop. So just type your picture name with extension, it automatically loads in your browser. So as you see, this is how you add the background image in CSS. So this is simple, you just need to change. Okay, you just need to give the URL, and once you give the URL, it automatically applies. Okay, you need to give sorry. Yes, you need to give the URL, uniform resource locator for that picture. Next thing we have that is called the opacity and transparency. What is the opacity? Opacity actually properties specifies the opacity or transparency of an element. Okay, it can take a value as I told you in last class, alpha about alpha channel, that alpha zero point 0.0, the range for alpha is 0 to 1. The lowest value, the more transparent. Okay, the lowest value, the more transparent. Let's say 0 1, opacity 1. Okay. Um, we remember when you give the one value, then there is no opacity at all, not transparent at all. But if you give the values in between, let's say you give 0.3, then your opacity is uh, transparent. Okay, it contains some transparency, but in one value, one is the maximum value, so there is no transparency at all. So I am giving you, let's say I have given here light color, sorry, background color light blue. Here I need to give the opacity as well. Let's say I'm giving you the opacity for how many? I'm giving you the opacity, let's say 0.2, the smallest value. So I'm giving the opacity here, and let's move back in my browser and we'll see what happens. As you see, opacity, how opacity works, this is now transparent, as you see. But if I want to remove this transparent, or if I change this value, let's say I'm considering this value as 1.0, which is the maximum, which means there is no transparency at all. So I need to go back in my browser and let's refresh. Now you see transparency goes. Okay, there is no transparency at all because you have taken the maximum value, and in maximum value there is not transparent at all. So let me change my change the color. Okay, and then add some transparency and see how it looks like. So we have green. Here I am taking the background colors. Okay, let's say I have this heading and paragraph. Okay, I am just defining the heading. I think that's okay. Okay. So here's 0 point. Let's say I'm taking 3. Now let's see the opacity for this one in green color, how the transparent looks like. As you see, this is now transparent. Okay, you cannot see the words clearly. This is transparent. Okay. Now, if you want to add something more, let's say I am just separating this, adding h3 and this one. Okay, because I need to give some things in it. Let's say what I have written in the paragraph, sorry, in paragraphs is the most popular front end language. So here one, let's say I am giving the color that is called green. Here I am giving the green color. So once I give the green color, I am giving various type of opacity. Opacity value here, let's say I'm giving zero point 0.6. Okay. Here I give the opacity for this one. Now for the H3 tag, I need to give, what is it called? Color, same color I'm giving, okay, color green. And this time I'm just increasing the opacity as 1.0, the max value. Now we'll see, you see the different results in the browser. So if I need to refresh, as you see the different thing in your browser. Okay. So if I want to remove this transparent at all, here one opacity. This color, let's say text color, I not send that. Okay, color is green. Sorry, here you do not take, you just take the color green, white. So you see the proper result. Okay, so once you define here and same like here one, actually when you take the green color now as background color is also green, so you cannot see the opacity results. So if you want to see the opacity results, just give the value white or some other dark color so you can see the things clearly. Now I save the file, I think. So let me move back in my browser. Now it says partial working, but due to the background color, we need to change the background color and then see. Background color, let's say we are taking the black. Okay, as the black color I have taken, so what I need to do now, I need to do as thing as well. Let's say here color I assigned this one, and now we'll see what will happen. White color, I think due to the transparency. Just a minute, let me remove the opacities for all so that we can see whether my property is working or sometimes it's not working. Now I need to go back. Yes, as you see, you see the some things. Okay, CSS is the most popular front end language. Now we add the transfer opacity. We want to apply the opacity here. So let's say I am just taking this one. Let's say opacity. Let's say I'm taking 0.8 for this one. And here one, I am taking the opacity as the value, which is the lowest one, that is the point 3 I'm taking. Okay. So let me check in my browser what it will do here. As you see, this is quite, I have taken the fully transparent at all, the very close value to the zero, that is 0.3. So you see the transparency as compared to this one here, I take 0.8. So it is actually a partial transparent, but not at all. But for this one, it is fully transparent, approximately. So this is how your opacity works. I hope so. Opacity concept is clear to you that opacity basically tell you when you add the opacity property, okay, it's add the transparency to the background of an element. So all of these things, the minimum value is 0 and the maximum value is 1. So on maximum value there is not transparent at all, and the values in between 0 and 1, it will apply whatever the value you will take, and 0 means they're fully transparent. If you give the value 0, then you do not see anything. Okay, it is transparent. So and then next we have yes, one thing more, we have transparency using red, green, brown, and alpha channel. So if you do not want to apply opacity to the other one, let's say that's something else. So just leave this. Okay, so background color property we already discussed. Now next we need to go back. We need to go in CSS background image, as I already told you that how to add the background image. Just you need to give the background image. Okay, property, and then you assign the value. Let's say if you have a picture in your desktop, so you need to give the name and the extension for that file. But let's suppose if you do not have the picture and you want to take, so just type URL, and in URL write your image address in column, sorry, in quotations. Okay, in quotes you need to add the address, and once you save the file you will see that image in your browser. Okay, remember, whatever the picture you are choosing, you must take the image address, not link address, not copy image. You have to take the image address. Okay, once you copy the image address, then you have to paste in the given URL, and then it will work. Okay, so next thing we have, that is called, this is about background image property. Now background image repeat, this is also a property in the CSS. What the background image repeat works? Background image property repeats an image both horizontally and vertically. Okay, as you see, The here I have taken some picture again. So image, and here to give the URL. So once I have taken the URL, you need to paste the image address. Now you will see in the browser. Let me refresh the page at all. As you see, now you see the multiple images. Okay, you see one picture here, one here, one here, one here. You see the four pictures. Okay, repeats an image both horizontally and vertically. You see it's horizontally repeating as well as vertical repeating. Okay, some images should be repeated only horizontally or vertically. They will look like strange, like as I did. Okay, so this is about the image. Okay, repeat image properties. So to repeat an image, if you want to repeat an image vertically, what you need to do, you need to set repeat y. Okay, to vertically repeat. Okay, let's say I am just moving to my code editor as I have taken. Yes, image URL. Then you need to add one more thing that is called the background. Just background repeat. Yes, here one. This property you have to take repeat. How you want to repeat the image? You want to repeat in, let's say, X manner. Okay, you want to repeat in X. Okay, X means horizontally, I think so. So let's check in the browser. As you see, it's horizontally now repeating. But if you want to repeat in the vertically, you just define the Y instead of X. Now we'll see in the browser. Yes, it's working. Now it's repeating vertically. Okay, so if you want that background image no repeat, you can also give. If you want not to repeat an image, so just define here instead of the repeat, you just say background repeat. Here you need to give no repeat. Sorry, no. Yes, no repeat. So once you define this no repeat, now you see the result in the browser. Let me refresh the page at all. As you see now, this image is not repeating. Okay, so this image is not repeating. You just need to set the background image not repeat. Okay, not you define the property and give the value no repeat, so it will not repeat at all. So next thing we have CSS background positions. Background position property is often used to specify the position of the background image. Okay, let's say this repetition. I told you that how you remove the repetition in the pictures, because when you copy your image address, it is repeating. So if you want to remove the repetition, you just take the property of background, what is called background repeat, then give the property no repeat, then it will not repeat. Then we need to give the background position. Let's say you want to set this image. So what you need to do, background repeat we already defined. Now let's say that taking background position. Now we just positioning this background. Yeah, here background position. So once we take this position, we want that image should be displayed right top. Okay, right top. So you see now the image will appear here. Here one. As you see, same like you use the bottom as well. Okay, this is for right top. You need to give some more properties as well to move the image. Let's say right bottom. Now we'll see in the browser that how it works. As you see, it's bottom one now. Okay, same like you take the left one, left top. Okay, let's say I'm giving the left top. I am taking this property. Now you will see in the browser. As you see, it's now left top. You also take the right one also. Okay, the reason for explaining every proper every value is that, so you must be familiar that how CSS saves your time and how you apply the properties, various properties and values on the CSS. Okay, so left, now you take the bottom one. So let's move back here. Bottom. Yes, as you see. So this is how your background position. You can position your image. Okay. Then we have CSS background. Sorry, I already explained CSS background repeat and position properties. Background position, you can set the position of your images, set the starting point of a background image. Background repeat means that you set how a background image will be repeated. So next thing we have that is called the background attachments. Background attachment property specifies okay whether the background image should scroll or be fixed, will not scroll with the rest of the page whatsoever. So how you need to do? Okay, let me. I have taken these all things. No repeat these things. Let's say for the positioning, I already taken. Let's say I'm changing the position. Now I'm taking the right top. Right top. Sorry, left. I think left also. Left top. Instead of the bottom, with the left top. Left top. So once you have taken this, now you need, let's say, margin. Let's say margin to right. I need to give the margin to right, let's say 180 pixels. So once I define the margin as well, now background attachment is important property. Background attachment here. Background attachment, let's say fixed I'm thinking about. Yes, fixed. Now you see what will happen in the browser. As you see, this is the background attachment. Okay, attachment is fixed. Today's video we discuss the very basic things, the background, okay, background images, and we discuss a properties that is related to the CSS. So guys, I hope so you like this video. If you like this video, kindly do like